Our main story tonight is government surveillance, and I realise most people would rather have a conversation about literally any other topic. A 29-year-old contractor was able to steal top-secret documents from an organisation that literally has the word security in its name. Clearly, that was not great for them, because the only place where it should be that easy for employees in their 20s to steal is a lids store. Dude, you sure I should take this? Relax, dude, it's a Miami Marlins cap. We're not exactly selling Fabergé eggs here. Last week, I went to Russia to speak to Edward Snowden, and this is what happened.
I don't know. You think he's coming?
Yeah, he's coming.
Because my argument is, why would he, when you think about it? I got 2,000 rubles that says he doesn't make it without understanding how much that is. All I'm saying is, a 10-hour flight for an empty chair, I'm gonna lose my... Okay, it turns out there may be a bit of a problem because our Russian producer booked us in a room directly overlooking the old KGB building and the home of the current Federal Security Bureau. And we've just been told they know we're here. So, so that happened. Just if the Russian KGB is listening, ring the fire alarm if he's not coming. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
So sorry for the delay.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Holy... He actually came. Edward Snowden, the most famous hero and/or traitor in recent American history. And I started with a question designed to test his loyalties. How much do you miss America?
You know, my country is something that travels with me, you know. It's not just a geography.
Well, that's already a way too complicated answer. The answer is, I miss it a lot. It's the greatest country in the world.
I do miss my country. I do miss my home. I do miss my family.
Okay, let's dive in. Why did you do this?
The NSA has the greatest surveillance capabilities that we've ever seen in history. Now, what they will argue is that they don't use this for nefarious purposes against American citizens. In some ways, that's true. But the real problem is that they're using these capabilities to make us vulnerable to them and then saying, while I have a gun pointed at your head, I'm not going to pull the trigger. Trust me.
So, what's the NSA you want look like? Because you applied for a job at the NSA, so
Right.
you clearly see an inherent value in that shadowy organization.
I worked with mass surveillance systems against Chinese hackers. I saw that, you know, these things do have some purpose.
And you want your spies to be good at spying, to be fair.
Right. What you don't want is you don't want them spying inside their own country. Spies are great when they're on our side, but we can never forget that they're incredibly powerful and incredibly dangerous, and if they're off the leash, they can end up coming after us. I was initially terrified that this was going to be a 3-day story. Everybody was going to forget about it, but when I saw that everybody around the world said, whoa, this is a problem, we have to do something about this, it felt like vindication.
Even in America?
Even in America. And I think we're seeing something amazing, which is if you ask the American people to make tough decisions, to confront tough issues, to think about hard problems, they'll actually surprise you.
So, did you do this to solve a problem?
I did this to give the American people a chance to decide for themselves the kind of government they want to have.